Okay, we are now starting the second half of our red trail hike. Now technically this portion of the Birchwood Lake path is officially a part of the red trail. You travel on this for roughly 0.2 miles and then take a left onto the southeast portion of the red path. Up ahead you can see a bench, and it is at that bench where you will take a left. That seemed like less than 0.2 miles. So the southeast portion of this path isn't nearly as hilly as the other part. It does have points where it goes up and down, but it doesn't have nearly the massive increases in elevation. Overall, the red trail is probably the best path for biking. There's enough space to maneuver around people. It's long enough where you can get a good workout. Constant changes in elevation. It's not as well traveled as the yellow and white trails, at least at different points. As you get closer to the Booten entrance, as you're traveling on the red trail, you'll run into more people, but the number of individuals that hike this path in its entirety is quite low. I'm a little nervous with how this video is going to turn out, because technically there may be specks of rain on my GoPro camera. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the video. I guess if there's specks of water on my camera, I'll just still post the video anyway and just say that it adds to the overall eclectic environment that I'm hiking in. Make up some excuse to not have to film again. I mean, I like filming, but I'd like to accomplish this in one hike. Eventually this path will end at the Upper East parking lot. As kind of a cool side note, I found a couple more stone walls traveling along here the other day. What's really fascinating is that a lot of the walls around here follow a similar pattern on both sides of Rattlesnake Meadow. It's a lot easier to access and explore the walls on this side because it's not as grown up. In total, I'd say I've been hiking for close to 2.5 miles, maybe just over 2.5 miles, and I have not run into a single person. Now, as you see here, if you take a right, you can start the Blue Trail. But we will continue straight on the red path. I don't know if I should say this, if it's considered bragging or prideful, but I actually won a bracket challenge that I was a part of. So I'm really happy about that. That's back-to-back years now that I've won it. Now, to be fair, for purposes of full disclosure, the last 2 years there's only been 15 people in the group, so I guess maybe that's not impressive if you only have 15 people, but I rarely have won NCAA March Madness bracket challenges, so when I do, it's kind of exciting. Is that bragging? I don't know, hopefully not. Well, I'll say this. The only reason I won it is because I follow the same strategy every year, and I pick against Duke, whereas everybody is obsessed with Duke. They think they're amazing, but in reality Duke is a choke job, and they always find ways to choke away epic leads, and they never go as far as people think. And so a lot of people in my group were obsessed with Duke and picked them, and so I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to pick against them, have them lose earlier, and I did that and I won. If you take a left here, you can link up with the Blue Dot Trail. So to the left here, you can start traveling on the Red Dot Trail, which will lead to the pavilion and the parking lot surrounding the pavilion. But instead, we are going to continue on the red trail finish it right around the upper east parking lot, and then at the end of this video I'll show you the red dot trail. Now when you get to this point in the red trail, if you want to stay on the official marked version of the path, you want to kind of bear right and stay to the right here. Now if you do go on this portion here, it technically comes out to the same point as the marked portion of the red path, right near the upper east parking lot of the Tourne. Well, we came across our first person today. I was wondering if I could go the entire 3.5 mile hike without running into one person. But I've seen them before. They seem pretty nice. And to be fair, I'm probably the shadiest looking guy here because I have a beard, I wear a hood a lot, I'm carrying a GoPro, a walking stick, bear spray. I probably look like a right-wing or left-wing terrorist depending on what your political views are, but I assure you I just like hiking in the woods and filming stuff. I'm not a terrorist, I swear. As you can see, we are approaching the upper east parking lot. And here we are at the end of the red trail. So in conclusion, I'm going to now show you guys the red dot path. Earlier in the video, I told you guys to stay straight here, or maybe bear right depending on your perspective, but there's also a red dot path here that you can take to the pavilion parking lot. It's pretty short, only a couple tenths of a mile maybe. Honestly, it may have been better to have shown you guys this path from its start at the parking lot from the opposite side. But I'm not gonna lie, I've done about 3.5 miles of pretty extensive hiking and I'm pretty tired, so I don't feel like going to the other side and then hiking it back and then backtracking a second time. It goes right by Rattlesnake Meadow. And eventually you'll come to a small wooden bridge. The stream that this bridge travels over, I believe, is officially Rigby's Brook. Technically, if you watch my purple and purple dot trail video, I show you Boiling Spring, and I believe the small tributary that travels from Boiling Spring eventually turns into Rigby's Brook, which we just crossed over, and that's the main water source for Rattlesnake Meadow, excluding of course some PVC piping that they've put in to better water the valley. But again, this is just a very short path that connects the pavilion parking lot with the red trail. And this is the end of the red dot path.